we had been talking about hybrid development projects all along. So there is nothing much that is really quite new. I will just re-echo on this idea of hybrid projects. So when we talk of hybrid, in this context, it means we are combining two different approaches. That is the traditional approach or the waterfall approach, or other people call it the predictive approach. Then we combine it with agile. So we are creating a different method that you can actually use to deliver your project. All right. So hybrid projects can be implemented in different ways. You can combine waterfall and agile in different ways to create something which is unique. Now, this entire process is what we call tailoring based on context. Remember, one of the principles we talked of tailoring based on context, which was very, very important. All right. Now, one thing you should know, the whole point of creating or crafting an hybrid project is because we are trying to utilize or to leverage uh, the advantages of all of these different methods. Predictive projects have its own advantages, but also its setbacks. Then agile projects has its advantages, but also its setbacks. So now what you can do, you can leverage both advantages from both. So that way you can be able to create something which works better for you. You guys should not make noise. Whatever you guys do, don't make noise. Or maybe you can even consider telling the guy to come back in an hour or what. Okay. You guys do that silently. Tell him you do it silently. Okay, sorry about that. So what I'm trying to see here, by now you know at what point do you use predictive projects and at what point do you use agile projects. Most of the time, the predictive projects take on a definable scope. When the scope is highly defined, clear procedures, you've tried this maybe on previous projects, it has worked. Now things like manufacturing processes, these are highly definable scope. But now the uncertain scope, this one flourishes best in agile. Okay, and this way you can actually apply agile approaches where there are high rates of changes, there's a high complexity, high risk, like software design or software development. Those ones have uncertain requirements. So now agile has its own benefits and also predictive has its own benefits. Now you leverage the benefits of both of these approaches to craft something that would work for you well. So up to this point, you know that predictive, here the requirements are a little bit clear, the requirements are fixed, the activities you perform them and you hand over the final deliverable at the end of the day, all right? And the goal is to manage cost. Meanwhile, agile, here you build in increments, so you build iteratively and you're making small and frequent deliveries. So after every sprint, of course, you're giving out something which is tangible to your client. And the goal here is to always gain customer value through frequent engagements and frequent feedback from your client. All right. So when you read from your agile practice guide under the section for tailoring, it will give you the different hybrid methods that you can apply. And it is just about at what point do you use agile and at what point do you use predictive. All right. So what you can do, hybrid method one, you can start with the beginning of the project can start with agile. Then as you roll out, you can choose to use predictive. Or you can run both agile and predictive concurrently throughout your entire project phase. This is where you combine agile, combine predictive approaches, and you run them simultaneously. Also, you could just have a predominantly predictive approach, but with some small parts of agile. Maybe you can just choose to have daily stand-up meetings, but you're running your project entirely in predictive. Another method is to you to have agile, though you're just having small portions of predictive within. So all these are different ways that you can choose on how to model your hybrid projects. So hybrid life cycle, most of the time it's because it's a result of tailoring. You want to leverage the benefits of predictive, but also you want to leverage the benefits of agile. So using a combination of these methods to actually deliver value. So there is nothing big about agile, or rather about hybrid. The only thing you need to know is when you're crafting something which is unique, where you're borrowing from both agile and predictive to try and create a framework that is good for your project and for your team. Agile focusing on delivering value, and predictive majorly, it focuses on maintaining and sticking to a plan and delivering the project within the cost that was agreed.